I decided to upgrade the spindle on my 3040 engraver router. The motor on there at the moment is 200 watts, which is okay for engraving PCBs and such, but as you can see it's got very little power. So it's up to full speed now, and you can just stop it by hand. So I decided to upgrade to a bit more power. I decided that maybe I could use an old angle grinder. This one, the gearbox is gone on it, but the motor is still fine. So I took the gearbox off and taking the pinion gear off, and the shaft is 8mm, exactly the same as the shaft of the motor. So what I plan to do is take the collet chuck off the motor, mount it onto the angle grinder, which I've got a nice flat square mounting, and mount it on a bracket here, which gives me 750 watts opposed to 200. So hopefully it will stop the router bit getting jammed and stopping. This is the bracket I intend to make. I've made one just out of a bit of MDF to mock it up. I'm going to make that out of aluminium. I've now fitted the collet chuck to the angle grinder. What I had to do is put the angle grinder in the freezer for a couple of hours, get nice and cold so the shaft's smaller, and then I put the collet holder in boiling water and put it on there and give it a tap on with a piece of wood. I decided to buy a new one off of eBay, which costs about £8 I think, instead of trying to get one off the original spindle, so I don't ruin the motor trying to get it off. Next step is to machine the part I made temporary out of aluminium, and then I can start making a bracket to hold it onto the machine. I cut the excess off with a grinding wheel, just a small 1mm grinding cutter. Then I milled the top. I milled the top so it's nice and flat, so I can weld the new mount to it. Next, I milled a slot on the back of a piece of 10mm plate, so my new bracket will fit in like so, and I shall weld along the edges. Also build a slot at the back, so my new router bit will fit there. Now I've welded the bracket on and put new bearings into the block. All I've got to do is put it on the machine, but run into a little bit of a problem. I'm going to have to take the top plate off to get it through the rods through the mounting block, but no biggie. I'm going to fit a new speed controller, and the easiest thing to do was I bought this controller off of eBay, which is rated for 5,000 watts, and basically it goes in line. So I've just drilled a hole through the top cover, and just fits as so, like that. And I'm just going to abandon this one, which here. Still going to use the old spindle switch, which I've just unplugged the wires, tucked them out of the way, and I'm just going to join the power from the back of the switch, through the speed controller to my spindle. Small jumper lead to go between the main power switch and the spindle power, so either one will stop the spindle. Next, I joined the neutral wire with a double joiner onto the neutral wire on the back of the input plug. Drilled a hole in the back cover for the wire to come through, and a couple of cable ties to stop the wire being pulled through. Next, I'll connect the power wire. I've joined two patch leads on the back of the speed controller, and one goes onto the spindle switch here, and the other one goes to the power feed in. And then all I've got to do is screw the case back together. Next, I fed the new spindle power wire through the chain. I couldn't get it through the top chain because it's very small, so all I've done is cable tied it to the inside and up here. I could have taken the old cable out, but I wanted to leave that just in case I wanted to go backwards or sell the machine or something. I'm going to put a connector on the end of the spindle cable. These come from Screwfix. They're just what you use to plug lawnmowers and that sort of thing into. Remember to put the socket end on the power, not the pin end, as these become live when you turn it on. So just put that on the end of the cable, this one on the end of the spindle. In the spindle, I did notice this little bit of play and flex in this plate here. I'm not sure if that will pick up on camera, but I've decided to make a holder that goes around here and drill two holes in the aluminium, just hold it tight. Instead of making it a metal, I thought I'd use my 3D printer and make a collar. This is the collar I'm going to make. I'll show you the printing process in a minute. This is my 3D printer. It's XYZ printing. It's just preparing to print. And it's just started printing. Hopefully in around 1 hour, 1 minute it should be done. Hopefully it will fit. Finished the printing the bracket, which slips over the router. Just going to have to pre-drill some holes, put some nuts and bolts through, and then I'm ready for reassembly.